Well, it is a little bit chilly here today, but it's starting to warm up. But it's 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, I believe, 37, 38 degrees Fahrenheit. It was chilly this morning, man. It wasn't tough to get going, but I knew just we had a ton of things to do. So obviously we have as we have the last few years, new caretakers, and the idea of going 2 trips is foreign to them. They're starting to learn and understand that. Getting the horses ready, making sure they empty out, relax, and then getting the harness back on them and going again a second trip. So we had a few horses going 2 trips today. A number of horses training today. There had to be 15 or 20 horses training today. I went with most of them. Eric went with a number of them, actually. Jason went with some, but I went with the heavier hitters, the ones that were going to go quicker today. I went with them. We'll talk about them. Obviously, it's Valentine's Day. Amy and I have been together long enough to know Valentine's Day is a wonderful February day. But at the same token, it is nice to go do something. I didn't have a whole lot planned, but given the fact that I'm going to be off the track around 7:30, maybe we'll just go have a nice little dinner somewhere. By at that time, 8 o'clock, usually things open up everywhere, so it's not hard to get in. That'll be the plan for tonight, for Amy and I. But first, I got to qualify Snap U and Chance. Really intrigued and interested to go with Chance tonight. It's been a long time coming for this guy. He's still not perfect, but he's good. He's good, and I'm very interested to see. I know he's like 6 or 7 to 1, but make no mistake, they're not going to out trot him. I know Kurt Suggs' horse on the rail maybe has quite a bit more experience, but a very strong mile and 2-3 in the qualifier from No Chance in Hill. So interested to see how it's going to play out tonight. Snap U, just want to get her qualified. Actually, between you and I don't know if I'm going to put the hobbles on her. I'm going to go last trip with her at 3:30 without them on, and then get a feel for her. Is she going to behave today? Does she need the hobbles today? I'm not sure she does. She's really on the bubble of needing hobbles or not. So we'll see how that plays out. But obviously the most important thing today is it is Valentine's Day. I don't mean to downplay and say, oh, who cares? It's not true. My wife, as many of your wives or sisters or moms, work their butts off. And although there's a Mother's Day, there's also Valentine's Day, and certainly doesn't go unnoticed the amount of work that my wife puts into the barn. You can be sure there's a lot of things that have to operate for the stable to operate, right? Wendy plays a huge role, Curtis, Kelly, all the trainers. But aside from all them, if there was no Amy, there'd be no stable. You can be sure of that. So on Valentine's Day, I will remember that, as I generally do. So today we had a ton of horses going out. As I said, it was a little cooler in the morning. I was super excited to go with Lover's Play, right? This was going to be a big step for her. Now, I did train her in 2.6 today. She was awesome. 2.6 last half and 1.1 and 3. You can tell it was a lot for her. It's the first time she's ever gone this speed, but ate her lunch. It felt great afterwards. We'll probably go back 2.6, 2.7, 2 or 3 times with her and get her super tight. I am paying her into the Non-Warriors 2 series in Miami Valley. Now, don't get too excited. It's not to say you'll ever see her show up there, but I wanted to broaden our horizons with her at the start of the spring. I'm really excited with what I saw today. She did her work well. She was a little tired, which is understandable, but took it like a champ. The reason she was tired was the first time she made a break, I had to change some equipment. I went back in, put bell boots on her, put the gating pole on the outside, let her head down a little bit, and then went back out and trained her, and she was much, much better. Hanging on the right line. I see the snake cords bothering her mouth a little bit. I think that was the biggest draw today from that was the snake cords. So we got to work on her mouth a little bit, but man, it's just so uplifting to see her trot, and she knows it too. You can just tell by looking at her. She enjoys her work, and just the story behind her, I keep bringing it up, but I will, because it needs to be brought up, and very proud of where she was and where she is right now, and as I did last time, a huge thanks to Dr. Brown, Dr. Keith Brown, and Dr. Latessa, because without them, she certainly would not be here. Number of other horses. I trained Steel Cowboy in 2.4 today. Not bad. Not bad at all. I thought he was pretty good, actually. I trained Wallop in 2-2 and a piece. He had made a break in the first turn, come right up trotting right away. But I think probably aluminum shoes on behind should clean that up. I know what he's doing. I can see it. He's just kind of scalping himself. Just a hair going in and coming out of the turns. You can hold them together coming out of the turns, but going into the turns, he's just a little self-conscious. So we just gotta be aware of that. I think those aluminums also clean that up, no problem. And these are the age sources. I started with them. Brace for Landing's been in 225, 230, something like that, was good. And I actually trained tactical mounds. I was out in the track today, and Amy had Flash Fly out there looking for a training partner, and we went together. Listen, mile and 230 for mounds is a mile and 250 for most horses. She's a fast filly, and it was a walk in the park for her. She had a lot of fun out there, rears up, playing around, and good experience for Flash Fly. I was happy to get them trained together. So she went her first mile, and this is Flash Fly's second. There was one other horse that trained faster today, Pull the Shoes. I won a mile in 2.7 a bit, 2.8 with her. There was another gentleman on the track in a race bike. I was going to go around 2.10, and Claire Umholtz, who's a long-time horseman here, I said, Claire, how much are you going with your horse? He said, around 2.8. I said, I'm your huckleberry. I can, if you don't mind, I'd like to tag along. And Shoes was very, very strong. Really happy with them today. The rest of the horses all went 225, 230. I'll run through them quickly. There was no jump outs. Actually, Blanton's Blue went a little quicker. He's getting a little closer to the races. I believe Eric probably went around 218, 220 with him. Maybe a little quicker, maybe a little slower. But wanted to do a little more heavy lifting with him. Affection, Arson, both those horses, 230 speed. Daryl went with Affection, said she was very good, and Eric went with Arson and said he was very good also. Flash Flies, I said, trained really well with mounts for tactical mounts, in case I said mounts for all before, who also trained tactical mounts, trained today. Green Tea, same thing, 25 or 30. These guys screw this up every time. 3 cars on this account. 3 cars. Look at the guy. Look. Can't blame him. This job probably sucks, I guess. So I usually have my truck and my wife's car. This one here should be on the account also. Maybe it wasn't. All right, thank you. Do you need?
Have you been getting all 3 taken out?
This thing has been in the shop for like 4 months.
Okay, this is the one that was in the shop.
Correct.
So we probably need to reactivate this one.
Yeah, can you add that to the account?
Yeah, I can add that. I might need to. I should have the card on there. Let me get a picture of that.
Cool.
Be easier to find it.
Good.
So 366, I think. 366.
Yeah, 414T2 366981. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, I got my car back. 10 days short of 4 months, they had this car in the shop. 10 days short of 4 months. And nothing seriously wrong with it. Just a parts issue. Another rant for another day. I'm fancy, like, trained in 226. She was good. Insider trading, Daryl said, I don't want to go with her with no bridle on. I wanted to go with her to begin with anyway, Daryl. So I don't want to tell you. She just roots her head and plays a lot, as I want her to stay happy. I think this is going to be a good filly for us. I want to give her staking one more once over before the 15th, which is Friday, I think. Thursday or Friday. Thursday. Today's 14th, right? But insider trading just was awesome today. Lonely Lakewood, I'll tell you, he looks great on the track. He never had a knee boot on him or a trotting boot or anything on him. Eric has done, Eric and Kathy, I love the way they operate, right? Just that low-key, matter-of-fact way, and that old school horsemanship. I love that, and can't wait to get racing this summer with those guys, and it should be a lot of fun. Lonely Lakewood might play a bigger role than we thought. He looked very good today. Very happy with him. I trained Mel Gibbswan. Now, these are all at a mile and a half, the last mile in what I told you, 226, 230, 228. You guys know the drill. We train all our horses at a mile and a half. All of them. The babies are now at a mile and a half now. The babies jog a little quicker than a jog the first lap. It might be a half and 135. And then we go our mile. But the age sources, you'll see a mile and 120, a half and 125, and then the mile and 25. So Lonely Lakewood, Mel Gibbs Swan was good. Memory and Imagination trained good today. We got the weight back on him. He was very good. Mounds for All. I think Mounds for All, this is Tactical Mounds' brother. I think this colt is coming forward. Last year it was lazy. We had to work him and work him and work him and work him. Not this year. Just chirped him when he does his work. I think this colt's turning the corner, and I really like what I see from him. So all those horses, Pickpocket, Prince, and Purple People Eater, all those horses have been around 225, 230. They are all on track. We'll see them all culminate around that 220 mark, whether they're a little bit behind now or they're a little bit ahead. As we get in 3 weeks down the road, it'll all be 220 for the most part for all those horses. And then we'll be able to draw a clear line from where they are that day to when they'll be able to get to the track. By the time they come in, are they blowing a lot? Do they eat their lunch? Do they seem comfortable? Like Tactical Mounds, please. It was like a jogged her 3 miles. She couldn't blow a match out when she come in. Work like that for those horses that have been there and done that. It's not a big deal. So I'm taking a close look at who is laboring. Lover's Play, of course, she's going to labor a little bit. She needs 2 or 3 miles in 2.5 or 2.6. But Wallop, trained a mile in 2.2, couldn't blow a match out. So you see, it's all about how they are after the mile, when you get them stripped, how quickly they recover, how they eat their lunch, how do they jog the next day. These are the things that I'll be on the lookout for tomorrow. I did ask all our riders today how the 2-year-olds were going. No, nobody said. Rose Run AJ looks like he's got a little pus pocket coming out of his right front foot, but that's fine. The plan is to video those horses on Friday. All our 2-year-olds on Friday. I haven't got a direct confirmation from Curtis, but I don't see why it wouldn't be a problem. So as of right now, we plan on videoing Friday. I have booked off Friday at the Meadows. Patrick the Piranha, no free lunch. Ridge Warren, qualified, no free lunch, and very capable driver. He can drive both those horses. I'm going to head back to Ontario with Amy. Want to drone the horses on Saturday and get a look at our Ontario horses. So that is what went on today. That's what went on yesterday. I did a video for you guys about yesterday. The rest of the week is mapped out. We got No Chance in Hill tonight. We get some horses tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? No, I don't think we have anything on Sunday. You get the gist of it. Lots going on at the barn. So with that, I'll let you go. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Happy Valentine's Day to all the couples out there, whether you're celebrating a lengthy anniversary or lengthy union together, or newlyweds. Either way, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I'll talk to you all very soon. Take care. Go to dinner.